So, welcome everyone. This is the second version of Algonomy Ascend. This is our biannual roadmap presentation where we talk about what's being developed, what we have recently launched, and other things like that. So you'll understand what's great about the product and so on, right from our product managers, right? So without further ado, let me just hand it over to Mark Buckalow. He heads our product, and he'll set the context, and then we can go ahead. Yeah, over to you, Mark.
Sure, thanks. Yeah. Hi, everyone. Why don't we start with the next slide? And I'll talk a bit of an introduction so you can get an idea of what we're going to cover today, and then we'll start having different people speak this time, so you get to know the product management team that work on various different parts of the product. So let's go ahead. Yeah, so this is not unfamiliar to people that personalization is a way to see a greater lift and higher expectations from customers. We enable this in our in our roadmaps. Is how can we enable different personalization capabilities in different ways? And of course, we look at optimization. So how do we optimize what we're presenting? What's the optimal level of personalization to provide, or what's the kind of personalization? So what we're going to cover today, and this is a slide that shows our solutions in a way that breaks out the components of what we offer. You can see the main personalization solutions in this row around personalization. So we'll talk about recommend and engage, find and discover, ensemble AI, and social proof. We also have been expanding quite a bit into other channels in working with digital marketing. So we'll talk quite a bit about active content today, and active content can take personalization into emails and soon other channels as well, and really help to drive a more personalized experience across channels. And so that will be a big part of today's discussion. Audience Manager is also a part of today's discussion, where you can explore audiences and you can start to do things like trigger campaigns and other things at a very granular and personalized level. And then we'll hit on the AI engines behind the scenes for a lot of the product areas as we go. So we'll just get started. We'll kick it off with Amit. Amit covers active content among other things. And Amit, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. So let me shift to active content. And so, so I think what Mark alluded was alluding to that our platform is designed to drive personalizations across range of channels. Now, when working with marketing teams, we've often seen marketing teams face multiple challenges when they while building dynamic content for marketing. Most of the time, there is a heavy need for email scripting in order to create more dynamic and personalized experiences within emails. And if they have to bring in data from multiple source systems, this could be APIs or this could be feed files. There's a very heavy a dependency on IT teams to help them integrate those data sources. Most of the email marketing tools or multi-channel marketing hubs are designed for delivery. They're designed to optimize delivery. There's very little focus on the content optimization. And so that again becomes one big challenge. And but what we've seen resultingly, these campaigns end up becoming projects in themselves with very long development cycles lasting into weeks and months. And so that is a big challenge that we see marketing teams face every day. And so this is where active content comes in. Active content simplifies the dynamic and personalized content creation. Marketers can very effortlessly draw data from different source systems and can craft visually compelling marketing campaigns that could be delivered through your existing email marketing tools. And all of these are delivered in real time on open time of the email. There is a drag and drop studio which is made available. Marketers could easily use the drag and drop editor with almost no code, low code experience, build any kind of dynamic visualizations. They can visually craft layouts, they can preview the layouts, they can simulate the experience for real customers, all using active content. Uh, all of the content that gets built through active content seamlessly integrates into your existing MarTech stack. And so we can seamlessly integrate with all popular marketing platforms and multi-channel marketing hubs. And so essentially this requires no change on your MarTech stack. Active content would work with your existing email tools or multi-channel marketing hubs, and the content built through active content can then be easily deployed and delivered through your existing ESPs or multi-channel marketing hubs. Uh, we can integrate various types of data sets. These data sets could be APIs in themselves, and so any kind of an API which is being exposed, we can bring it into our system. We can integrate digital content. This could be your content management systems, and so we can bring that data sets in. It could be an API which your loyalty or reward system is exposing, or it could be a feed file that it provides. We could leverage your customer data platform, which has access to a lot of customer data. We can pull that data into active content again through an API or batch feed files. We can get your product catalogs. It could be a streaming catalog. It could be feed files, and so all of this data can be brought together, and we can mash them up. We can mash it up, and each of the data sets could essentially be providing certain data elements, and all of these data elements could be used across the email to drive dynamic and personalized content. It could be hero banners which are coming from your content management systems. It could be products information or recommendations coming from your recommendation engine. It could be a pricing API which gives price. It could be social proof messages. It could be product reviews and ratings. All of these different elements can be drawn from multiple source systems and mash them up to create very compelling visualizations for your email marketing. Um, a lot of our customers have been using active content to drive personalization across marketing. Some of the examples include, uh, creating complete experiences within the email where every element within the email is essentially dynamic and personalized. So for example, it could be an affinity based experience where the hero banner, the copy and the recommendations are all essentially based on the customer's affinity towards a category, and all the elements within the email are personalized for that, and all of this essentially can be built in active content and then delivered into the email at open time. So when a customer opens this up, based on who the customer is, and based on their affinity, the content would dynamically change and then essentially present a content which is absolutely personalized for that customer. It could be that you design very specific widgets through active content. So these could be product recommendation widgets that you design within the active content. And on open time, we deliver those widgets into the body of the email, and so they see content and recommendations which are absolutely personalized for them. Right? So you could do that. You could create more creative layouts. So you could design creative layouts. It could be outfits. It could be collections. And so you could try more non-traditional layouts and be creative over there. You could push product bundles the way you would usually see it on the website. You could essentially now build a similar experience within the email. So we can create bundles over here. We could do new arrival announcements, and so you could present them in a very creative way, or you could do more traditional layouts where there are three columns and two rows, and then talk to them about the offers, but you could build dynamic badges. You could do price strike throughs, all essentially in a way to drive more attention to your content. And so these kind of creative layouts can be very easily created using active content. Um, so some of the features that we've released in the last quarter, again, Our focus has been to simplify content creation. Our focus has been to simplify consumption of data from different data sources. And so we have a capability where you could bring in your own CSV files, and these CSV files could have any structure, any format. There's absolutely no restriction on the structure or the format of the file. You could bring in any file, and through the UI itself, you could essentially ingest that file into our system. We could automate the ingestion into our system. Now, you could use this data which is there in the CSV file, and you could you could set up dynamic lookups of that CSV files, and this could be done on runtime. And there's a simple UI that's made available where you could set up dynamic lookups of the CSV file. All through the UI itself, the data can be sorted in certain specific ways. So if you want offers which have the lowest price to show on the top, you can do that. And all of this can be essentially done through a UI in itself. In most of the ESP tools, this would require a lot of coding, and so you'll have to code this entire thing. Similarly, we've brought in capability where you can set up business rules and conditions to show hide certain specific content, to show hide text, to show hide images, and all of this can again be set up through a UI. Again, in ESP tools, you probably will have to write code over there, and so there's a big dependency that marketing teams have on the IT teams to help them out with this. With active content, this is all through a UI, and marketers could essentially set this up all by themselves. Um, They've also, brought in capabilities to create advanced mashups where you want to mash up an API with a CSV file or multiple APIs, or you could pipe the output of one API to another. So there's a lot of advanced capabilities that been brought into the platform. Uh, Also, we constantly keep working on scaling the platform so that we can serve high volume of email campaigns. And so that's a constant endeavor that we keep working on to essentially keep scaling the system to handle large email volumes. Um, the uh, the features that we are focusing on bringing in next year, and we absolutely very excited about the roadmap. And again, the focus is to essentially simplify data integration within the platform. And so we keep working on identifying newer data sources. And so what we would work on is we will make your website as a source, as a data source, where you could pull content dynamically from a website. So you could identify, hey, I want this particular content from a website to be pulled into an email. And so you can do that. And this would be on runtime. When an email opens up, that dynamic content from the website would be in real time pulled up into your email body. And so this way, marketing teams could leverage all the work that has been already done on the e-commerce, and you could just use the same digital asset. So you could use the same content from your e-commerce engines and embed it within the email. So essentially, it allows you to reuse a lot of work that has already been done while setting up your e-commerce system. And so you could do that. You could leverage all the data that is there on your website. We would also enable more local storage of API responses. So right now, APIs are called in real time, and all the data that is provided by the API is used for content creation. We would also enable ways where you could run APIs offline, and you could store the output of the APIs in a data store within active content and use it for your personalization and content creation. We've also gonna bring a lot of capabilities around generative AI, and where you would have a prompt-based ability to create hero banners, to create copies, text, do refinement. So it will be more of a text to image generation. It could be an image to image generation where you could upload an image and essentially make changes, use AI to make changes to those images to fit into different sizes and different screen sizes. And so we would see some of these features around generative AI coming up in active content in the coming future. And so that's that's a focus on the roadmap for the coming months. So that was on active content. I will switch over to Audience Manager over here. And again, with Audience Manager, what we've seen is business teams all over marketing, e-commerce, usually require access to customer segments, and the segments that they could, can be targeted on web, and it could be, targeted on marketing channels. And so what Audience Manager does is it provides access to segments. These segments could be real-time segments that reflect current interactions of the customer, current purchase intents of the customer. Um, we could also provide access to segments which are more behavioral and essentially reflect long-term behaviors of customers across channels. And we can also provide access to AI based segments, which are predictive in nature and essentially can help you anticipate and essentially do proactive targeting to customers based on the insights that the AI has generated. Uh, Underlying the platform, there is a data platform where all the data across all the source system is unified. We unify data from your online systems, your offline purchases, or it could be interactions on your marketing channels. It could be your rewards and loyalty points. All of this data is essentially unified in a platform. It could be views and interactions on the website, purchases that they've made. It could be zero-party data that they've shared with you. And so we bring all this data and unify it to create a rich customer profile. These profiles are constantly enriched through insights that the platform generates. So we constantly work on creating, insights such as what's the average order value of this customer, what's the average order size of this customers, what's the conversion rate. And so those are aggregates that we constantly keep generating for each customer. There's also a list of prepackaged AI models that are available as part of the platform. All of these models are constantly enriching the customer profiles. These models range from creating more descriptive insights like behavioral personas for the customers. It could be based on the RFM, recency, frequency, and monetary behaviors of the customers. It could be based on what affinities that the system thinks that they have with brands and categories, or it could be more predictive segments where the system scores each customers to their propensity to churn, or how likely are they to be profitable in the future, or their propensity to buy from a new category or a new brand, or even looking at likelihood of them replenishing new items in the future. Right? So these models are constantly working on the customer data, and they actively keep enriching customer data with likelihood scores, with likelihood of buying and segmenting them in various and different ways.
Amit, a quick time check. We have 3 minutes for this section.
Sure, absolutely. All of these segments and all of this data, all of these insights can then be used to create different segments, and these segments can then be activated across range of marketing channels, across your commerce platforms, across ad systems, across retail media platforms. Um, and then one of the very strong differentiators that we bring in is that we enable marketing teams to leverage the data that is the unified data that is stored in the RCDP. We essentially help them to also leverage all the insights that has been generated. They can not only export the customers over. So, for example, you can get access to customers who have abandoned a cart, but you can also enable flexibility. There is an available where you could pass very contextual data, like not just the customers who have abandoned, but also the items that they abandoned. You can pass it over to your downstream systems. You can pass over what categories and brands they have affinity with. So along with the customer, you can also pass a lot of contextual data to your underlying systems. You can control the touch frequency. So you could control how many times you want customers to be included in segments over a day, right? So you can ensure that you're not creating a fatigue, marketing fatigue. And then there are out-of-box connectors through which you could start activating customer data. So there are out-of-box connectors to cloud storage systems, to ad platforms, to marketing hubs, and even offer personalization systems. Some of the use cases that we've seen customers using more often are retargeting. And so you get a list of all customers who abandoned a cart, who browsed, did not buy. You could trigger campaigns based on merchandising events. So the system detects if there is a price drop, system detects if there is inventory drop, system detects if there's a new item. All of these events can be used to trigger campaigns out. So you could combine and create segments. So for example, customers who viewed an item in the past, never purchased, but the item is on a price drop right now. Or they added an item to the cart, did not buy, the item is on clearance right now. All of these merchandising events could be used as an opportunity to re-engage. You could create funnels, and so you could track people in funnels and use segment audiences to move people from one stage to another, or you could drive more replenishment trips, and so system can automatically identify if the customer is likely to replenish, and so you could use this to drive more proactive emails. Some of the features that we released are bringing in capability for creating account-based segments to create household-based segments, and so you could create segments which are at a customer level, but you could also create segments which are at account or household levels. We brought in funnel-based audiences, and then we brought in capabilities where we could automatically detect changes in merchandising and inventory on price drops, new item, and so that this could be used for targeting. Some of the features that we are focusing on in the next year are, enabling more data sharing across marketing channels. So users will have flexibility to now pass product attributes as part of the exports, so that they can be leveraged across marketing channels. We will focus on connectors. So we're focusing on connectors to different systems. And then we also essentially would enable more multi-factor authentication, single sign-on with different systems. So your marketing teams could very easily navigate from one system to another in their MarTech stack. I think that's with Audience Manager. Back to you, Diganta, Gurva, if you want to pick it up from there. Thank you, everybody.
So Ensemble is our AI-powered stylist solution that generates stunning outfits based on merchandiser style definitions. So some of the challenges that are encountered by today's shoppers include styling dilemma, where people often struggle to mix and match different items to create cohesive outfits or choose the right product for specific occasions. When the product catalog is huge, finding relevant items can feel overwhelming and time-consuming. And modern shoppers often busy and very little time span to shop for prolonged sessions. If they can't quickly find what they're looking for, they may abandon the entire process and exit the sites, right? So presenting Ensemble here is to address some of these challenges. Ensemble automatically generates perfectly curated outfits with shopper preferences and some of the latest trends. Merchandisers can define styles with just few clicks and automatically generates endless variation of these ensembles, so that the shoppers will be presented with personalized outfits. And this doesn't require any manual effort or expensive stylists. The system does it for you, generates all the possible ensembles. And multiple ensembles or outfits can be presented to the shopper. And you can use optimal use of this digital shelf space, so that 30 to 40 relevant products are shown within a single placement, so that the discovery makes it really, really easy. And how does Ensemble AI works? So Ensemble uses all the catalog data, streaming data, content data that is available, that is streaming through the systems. And merchandisers can create styles based on different themes like business casuals, formals, cycling gear or hiking gear, or even beauty collections. By selecting different categories that goes really well with each other, they can customize or filter what products should go into these ensembles by defining what price brands the product should be, or what brands or what attributes of the products that should be part of these ensembles. Based on style definitions, the composite AI engine generates a different combination of these models like complementary colors, visual AI, NLP, deep learning, machine learning, co-occurrence data between products, product to product, product to category, category to category. And these are all generated different ensembles and scored and ranked to be able to give this combination of products to generate these ensembles. And on top of it, for the shoppers, they can actually see not only top ranked outfits, but also the personalized outfits for them. So they see the top ranked personalized outfits, so which are relevant when they're looking at certain products. And some of the use cases where when people are looking at item pages or category pages or cart pages, they can see relevant ensembles that corresponds to the products or the categories they are seeing. When the shopper is looking at a jacket as an item, they can see different outfits that corresponds to the jacket. Right? It could be t-shirts, shirts, bottoms, shoes, whichever the products that are really goes well with that product. They can see all those ensembles through different styles that the merchandisers can operate on. And when they're looking at a certain category pages, which categories really go well with this category, they can see all the top ensembles that corresponds to those categories, those subcategories, etc. And when you're looking at a particular product added to the cart, let's say you added a dress, then what are the top outfits that corresponds to that dress, right? So that you're not only looking at the dress, but I think some of these things really go well with the dress. So it increases the average cart value by big time. Now, some of the recently updated items. So swapping a product with similar products. When shoppers are looking at outfits or ensembles, they'll be able to interact with these products and they can see different variations of these ensembles. And when they want to look at, let's say there's a black shirt they're looking at, they want to change it to white or blue, they can swap the product and they can actually see different variations of that ensemble. Not only that, I mean, they can actually swap multiple products within ensemble and see how the outfit will look like when they keep changing these products. So with this capability, right? So they don't have to go anywhere else. I mean, when they're looking at, let's say, 5 ensemble combinations, the number of combinations that they're looking at is unlimited, you know. So the discovery makes it really, really simple and easy, and they don't have to go anywhere. Within that screen, they can actually look at all possible combinations of different products. This capability to enable region-based ensembles for those clients that have region-based catalog. There's an option to consider region as a seed, and you can create style definitions based on that. And the model generates ensembles for each region so that the entire catalog that is specific, that catalog will be part of the ensembles. So when a shopper is looking at ensembles, they only see the ensembles that are specific to that particular region. And merchandisers can preview the shopper experience directly through this option. So what is it that shopper will look at when they are actually seeing the shopper experience, right? So the merchandisers can replicate that by providing what is the user ID and which region they belong to. They can mimic that experience and how the outfits will look like for that shopper, and is it personalizing and how personalization is happening. So generating transparent images with this feature, the entire catalog, we could generate the transparent images. If the client already has transparent images, then we'll use them to generate the ensembles. If not, then we'll use the system generated transparent images. This will improve the visual layout of the products and also creates the stunning outfits, what you see on the screen. So returning the number of products for each part helps the merchandisers to optimize the style definitions, primarily when the number of products within each category is too small or too big. So this helps to optimize the styles with optimal number of combinations. The system will give an alert if the number of combinations are more than 10 billion, just to optimize it. Even if it is more than 10, it still generates the outfits. However, it generates topmost quality items when the number of products are optimal at each of the parts. And some of the other enhancements include, we started including offline purchases into the ensemble model to improve the quality of the outfits and also use the purchase behavior of the shoppers as part of the model. And included personalization based on user affinity. Now all the ensembles are personalized when the shoppers are looking at it based on user affinity configurations. And we also respect the privacy parameter. So if somebody doesn't want the personalization to happen and pass the privacy flag, and we do not do the personalization of the outfits for them. And we also support large styles, like what we call vanilla styles. If you do not want to create too many styles and you want one vanilla style that can consider all possible product combinations and generate them. So we do that for you. And you can also use theme-based outfits so that the quality of outfits based on your themes could probably rank higher.
Gaurav, just a quick time check. We have 3 more minutes for your section.
So some of the roadmap items. So we use complementary colors and visual AI to generate those ensembles. So we provide that control back to you. So if you have some reservations about the complementary color definitions that we have, you should be able to look at it and you can update it, you can modify it, and you can update however you believe that this is going to be looking good for you. So and incorporating shopper feedback. So when the shopper is looking at ensembles, they see that, okay, I want to see more like this, or I want to see less like this. They can actually give that feedback, and we take that feedback and we review what is the feedback and what is it that corresponds to that outfit that they may like, may not like. And we use the vector and identify, okay, these are the outfits that they like. And we, in real time, we refresh these ensembles to show what they like and hide what they don't like. And we are enabling layout designer. So this is basically how you want your layout should look like for an ensemble or for an outfit. Let's say you have a jeans that you want to show it in the middle, and you want to show jacket and shirt on the top and hat and shoes at the bottom. The sizes and the angles, everything that you could control, and you can put one product on top of the other with some angle. All of that can be happened through the layout designer. And once you do that, you can actually preview how the ensembles or outfits will look based on this design. And you can apply that so that the shoppers also can see the same outfit design that you added as part of the layout definition. And this recommending categories, well, when merchandisers create those styles, so they have the hypothesis that, okay, this is the business outfit, business casuals, or the business formals that I want to add. Then they have a hypothesis. Based on that, the system will recommend the categories. Okay, these are the categories that are really go well. We use the data-driven insights like co-occurrence data, cross-selling options, and also some of the Gen AI solutions, so that what are the products that are usually bought together. It helps you to define the styles easily, and also provides the data-driven insights so that it will be optimal for you to create those styles. That completes Ensemble AI. I'll quickly walk you through the social proof messaging. Algonomy social proof messaging is a marketer-friendly platform that can help to build trust and accelerate the conversions with the shoppers. So why social proof? I mean, it builds a lot of trust and credibility to the shoppers when they're looking at some of the social proof, like a lot of people are doing it, which means essentially there's something good about it. So it accelerates the purchase by the shoppers by giving the positive reinforcement to the shoppers' decision-making process. It also reduces the perceived risk through the wisdom of crowd and popularity messaging. It enhances the user experience by showing popularity as a data point. So it enhances it improves the conversions, revenues, and fastens that add to cart click by the shopper. And what sets Algonomy social proofing apart? We convert the real-time data points into compelling social proof so that it will influence the shoppers positively and accelerate their purchase decision making. And we provide full funnel messaging. So we cover all the touch points: homepage, category page, product page, cart page, and also the recommendations that we show. We can show social proof at all these touch points. And it is highly customizable and business user friendly. So you can customize the design and message placement effortlessly with few clicks. No need to wait for the IT teams or Scrum teams to configure these things. Once the implementation is done, I mean, you really do not have to involve any of the IT teams. The entire experience that you create is business user friendly, and you can make changes pretty quickly. And social proof creates very high impact, both for shopper experience and also for the business metrics. You can see some of the metrics that we tested with our clients. And the platform allows you to do various hypothesis testing quickly. So you can create different variations and then test, see which one is generating most value. You can also change the message types from use to purchases to add to cart, change the intervals, change the text, change the thresholds, and you can quickly, within 5 minutes, you can actually create a variation test, and you can start testing the solution right away. And some of the recent released capabilities. So we enabled range-based messaging. So this is to provide multiple messages with purchases or add to carts. You want to show when the numbers are very high, you want to show certain message. When the numbers are medium, you want to show different message. Or you want to hide some of the actual numbers and show messages like 10 plus, 20 plus, 100 plus. All these capabilities are done through range-based messaging. And badging, it provides a very high impact on when you're looking at something something that is unique about the product or some trustworthiness about the product, then it is highly likely that the people will get attached to that product. So social proof badging does that. It uses some of the unique product characteristic, and you can show them as badges so that it can influence the shoppers positively, be it sustainable material, be it carbon neutral, be it top running shoes, whichever it is unique and can help the shoppers get influenced, that all can be added as badges. And it can be done across the funnel. So you can see that it can be done on item page, category pages, cart pages throughout to impact the shoppers positively. So you can, this is the business user-friendly interface. The merchandisers or the users directly can put the badge in different locations on the top corners, bottom or top. And by selecting it, simply it will be shown on that particular location. And currently we support multiple languages. So if you create an experience and there's a language, you can define multiple languages based on different regions that are available. And when we pass that region, it automatically shows the corresponding language for the social proof messaging for that particular user based on the region and locale. Some of the roadmap items. So we will be reporting at each message level to provide that impact of how these messages are adding value in terms of key metrics. We are improving the MBT reporting to filter by the products that have shown social proof messaging. So you can compare between the control and treatment on apples to apples basis. And we will be adding the snapshot of the product coverage for the various metrics and intervals, which means that at any point in time, you want to see how many products are covered and how to improve the coverage of the products by optimizing the metrics and intervals. This is going to be very insightful and helpful. And the last but not the least is the social proof optimization. So social proof optimization helps to optimize the messages, what you're showing based on the KPI that you want. Let's say you want to use conversion rate as the optimization metric, then the optimization checks the messages and which messages are adding most value for the conversion rate, and it will pick that message and play that message. So you do not have to do a lot of testing and all that to, okay, what is it adding value for a given metric? The system does it for you through AI optimization. And it will use small percentage of the messages for exploration to ensure that we are not missing to identify any of the new messages that might be impacting in the future. So it keeps taking not only the historical data, but keep updating the up-to-date data and keep looking at which messages are going to add more value based on the KPIs that you select. And that completes social proof. So I'll hand over it to Laura for recommend and engage.
Hi, everyone. So I'm Laura. I'm responsible for recommend and engage on the personalization side. Recommend being personalized product recommendations, and engage being personalized experiences with content. And you know, as we talked about at the start of the webinar, we know that customers expect, you know, more than just personalized experiences. They want them to be seamless. They want them to be context aware. So when they're browsing and interacting with content, customers want the businesses to understand their unique needs and to deliver value in real time. And so with that in mind, we've thought about our development work, and we have these three goals. We want to deliver, we want to help you deliver intelligent and personalized experiences that are scalable. We want to help you simplify your workflows and expand omnichannel personalization. And we want to make it easy for you to refine and localize your customer experiences. So over the last 6 months, we had quite a few new features. I'll be highlighting the top 5. And so the first one has to do with Engage here. We've brought user affinity sorting to Engage. And so anybody who's familiar with Recommend is certainly familiar with user affinity sorting. In terms of product recommendations, we will take the results of recommendation strategy and resort the products based on a shopper's unique affinities. And so now we're doing the same thing with content. This is really going to help you in terms of your workflows for creating campaigns, making it more scalable for you to use Engage, because you no longer have to create so many different campaigns and segments to target the specific audiences that you want. Now you can just do that with user affinity sorting and either create new user affinity configurations, or you can even use the same ones that are currently being used in Recommend. So this is one that we're really excited about. We also brought user affinity sorting into advanced merchandising. Our customers use advanced merchandising for curating recommendations. Typically, it can be used for doing cross-selling, really targeted cross-selling when you want to have products that are compatible with each other, where you need to be selecting products based on certain attribute values or things like that, or even in what you're seeing here, jewelry, where you want to be picking products that are from the same collection or the same style. This is where advanced merchandising can really be powerful. And our customers really wanted to make the selection of products on top of that curation to be personalized. So we already had the personalized sorting option, and now we've added the affinity sorting option, where again, here you can pick from the same set of user affinity configurations that exist, or that you were using for your normal recommendation strategies. You can use them here in advanced merchandising. And as I said before, you can use them in Engage campaigns. The next update has to do with dynamic experiences. Dynamic experiences is part of Engage. And this is really to help accelerate the time it takes for you to implement new experiences on your website. We have a set of pre-existing templates that you can use to add new banners and trigger them based on certain behaviors on the website. Now we've created a new template specifically for product bundles. So a product bundle has really a special layout where you're showing like a seed product. You're on the product details page, you're showing that seed product, and you're showing another product that is typically purchased with it. And you're making it really easy for the shopper to purchase both products in a single click. And so, this is something that customers really like, and they want to be able to our customers really like, and they want to be able to add to their website. But sometimes it's difficult to get access to your IT resources, and then it doesn't really happen. And so we wanted to really make this easy for you. With this template, you can come in and customize it to change the styling so that it matches your own branding, and easily configure things so that it works right away on your website.
Laura, just a time check. You have a minute.
Okay, let me keep going then. Thank you. We introduced the Rex test drive earlier this year, at the beginning of the year, and this is for making it easier for you to preview your recommendations. As you're configuring things, you can go directly into the dashboard and preview with specific user IDs and changing different parameters. Now we've enabled the ability to do so with email recommendations. And so this will hopefully help streamline your kind of QA processes as you're working with your campaigns. And finally, in our guided selling is part of our Engage offering as well, where you can create quizzes to help guide shoppers through the purchase of a particular product, or create a gift finder type of experience. We've now added the ability to translate all the different fields in your guided selling quizzes in any field that is shopper facing. So this can be done just by once you've created your quiz, you can head over to this translation tab and download a translation template, which is a CSV file. Fill that in and then re-upload it, and all of your translations will be there. And you'll also be able to preview all of that back in the variation, preview that in the dashboard and see all the different languages that you've added. I'll just wrap up with covering what we have coming up on the roadmap in the next 6 months. And so on the Engage side, we're making enhancements to the MVT flow. So hopefully that'll enable you to be able to set up tests when you're working with content, test different campaigns against each other. And also on the Engage side, we are going to have a content test drive, similar to the Rex test drive. This will enable you to preview your content placements. We're also doing work with recommendations based on items that are saved to wish lists. So we're now able to save those items in the wish lists in our user profile, and we'll be able to recommend those products that have been saved. If you want to retarget people by email or another channel, we'll be able to use those products as seed products to generate personalized recommendations. And we'll also be able to use those saved items to calculate the user affinities as well. And finally, the product comparison placement. So a product comparison placement, kind of similar to a product bundle, where product bundle is a specialty placement for doing cross-selling. Product comparison placement is a specialty placement for doing upselling, where you want to highlight certain attributes that are different across the similar products. And so this has a special layout that typically will show the products, but also in a grid form, highlight the differences across a set of attributes. And so we have the product comparison rules that will enable you to control what attributes are used, and also we'll have a dynamic experience template for these product comparison placements. And with that, I will hand it back over to Mark.
So hopefully you've gotten quite a bit out of the session so far. I'm going to hit on Find and Discover, which we've made some significant investments in over the past year and a half, and more to come. And I'll hit on what's to come. We've been looking at things from a multimodal search perspective. So how can we combine text and image searching together? How can we provide keyword and vector search together? And so we'll talk about those kinds of things that we've been doing and releasing and working with clients. We've also have a conversational commerce sales assistant. So how can we leverage a chat interface in the form of a chat bot and interact with shoppers to the point where they don't even have to leave the chat interface. They can build their cart straight from the chat interface, so it becomes almost another channel for you. And then dynamic discovery. How do we do this with list pages? We've been merging both our Find and Discover together, utilizing similar capabilities, and then being able to do more merchandising with the dynamic discover side, but still tailored to personalized results. Hybrid search, this is something that's new that we've been releasing with various different clients and seeing significant success with this. It's where you're going to, instead of looking at a product as a keywords and trying to come back with search results or lexical types of search results, you can look at it from a vector. So we generate vectors using ChatGPT, and we utilize those vectors with a query. So the query comes in, it's a vector. It's converted to a vector. It's then searching a vector database in the back end of our systems, and then it's returning result sets that best match. What's really nice about vectors is you have less chance of ever seeing zero result search queries. You're going to show something that's representative of a vector. A vector is a multi-dimension, so think of it as all these different aspects of a product are combined into a vector, and then we can find similar vectors from the query and return things from there. It reduces a lot of the need for things like synonyms or misspellings, and it can handle things like language very well. So when you have specific languages that don't have a lot of good support for keyword-based searching, utilizing the language, we can provide vector-based search, and that gives you a significant benefit for those types of languages. We combine them together, so we actually merge the results of a vector-based search and the typical lexical search, and then we provide those results back to the shopper. Boost and Berry has been updated quite a bit for this, so we can base it on search terms, and this works whether it's now hybrid search, whether it's a keyword or vector search. And then you can boost by various different factors. Now you can boost by products and attributes and brands. So a lot of different options now for boosting result sets within search based upon keywords. And again, whether you're using vector search or keyword search or the combination really doesn't matter for this. Related searches. So this is leveraging ChatGPT to uncover if I'm searching about some topic or some interesting item, what are the other related searches that others would expect to do subsequently to that, and how can we put those searches in front of somebody so they can start to say, okay, you're looking for, in this case, an executive desk. Here are some other things that you might want to search on that are perhaps related to what you're searching on today. So this is, again, looking at how do we improve engagement and build out more of the shopper cart beyond just the individual items, and how do we shorten that time that they have to find those items and quickly bring those to the shopper. MBT, so this is something that we've added for Find configurations. So within Find, you can set up a personalization configuration, and that personalization configuration is kind of like a user affinity configuration. It identifies the affinities that you want to base your search results on. Are you going to emphasize brand or other types of affinities? It has a wealth of different options, and now you can test those options and decide which one gives you a lift. And so anybody that's thinking that they might create multiple search configurations, you can now activate multiple search configurations and test those in an MVT test and see which one is giving you the best overall lift. What's coming, I should probably mention on the MBT, the next step is optimization. I have a slide later on, but imagine that if you're testing different search configurations and determining which search configuration does better, and then being able to do some uncover segments that perform better or search contexts that perform better with one versus another search configuration, then you can also optimize. So the optimization algorithm is something that's going to be applied to Find, and something that's a future item that we'll be adding to this, where you set up your multiple search configurations and the system will just decide when to play the appropriate one. What's coming? Advanced facet management. This has been something that a lot of our customers have requested, being able to sort by various different criteria, being able to pin facets, and then being able to base facets based on user affinities again. So personalized set of facets. And so that's something that's coming very soon. And then personalizing the autocomplete. So autocomplete can be quite effective. And get products and even other types of searches or other things presented to somebody to guide them through the search process, and even get them to the right answer before even looking at result sets. So it's going to be personalized. So this is another way of taking user affinity and other mechanisms to display autocomplete results that are different for different shoppers based upon what we know about them. And then what we're really excited about is the Discover Workbench. So we have a Discover Workbench that we're working on. This will be released soon. This is for product list pages, being able to do different merchandising controls on the product list page, being able to select different sort options and things like this that you want to make available. And so this will be a nice way to decide how you want your list pages to work, review, preview, and then publish those changes. And so coming soon, this is the optimization that I talked about. This is taking those search configurations, and we have a kind of a history of optimization in this way, where we can decide based upon an optimization metric, whether it's increasing engagement in the find result set, or it's increasing conversion rates, or it's increasing revenue. So which search configuration should we use in a given context? And that context could be the search query, it can be the shopper information. So those kinds of things can all be taken into account when optimizing which search configuration we're going to use in that particular context. Chat. So we do have an interactive chat. This is automated. It's utilizing ChatGPT. It's doing some things where ChatGPT is narrowing the result set back for you. And based upon what you're presenting, it works really well for discovery. So when you're looking at product discovery, and I'm looking for gifts for my wife, and it'll come back with what are some common gifts for women. If you say, okay, if I want to say something about my wife enjoys baking, then it will come back with categories of products that are interesting for people that are interested in baking. It drives right to the part of the catalog that's relevant to that individual quickly. And again, it's utilizing ChatGPT to help with that and make it very interactive. We are adding this display of the products, this interaction with the chat, recommendations built into it. So again, you can interact with the chat and build out your cart straight from the chat experience without having to navigate around the site, and then just go to checkout. I want to say something about the Ascend partnership. So with the Ascend partnership, we have partnered with a company, Ascend. They offer real-time visual search. They have been a company that have focused on fashion, in particular in furniture, for a period of about the last 10 years, and in depth on merchandising. So they hired merchandising consultants for many of those years to give them insight as to what's important about an image and a product that they should call out and understand. And so they have models that are built to understand images in a very unique and specific way that's going to help with understanding what's a similar image to this, what kinds of images might complete the look. So they have many models that do this. They also support text-based search, so they combine visual search and text-based search together. And so if I were looking at similar items for a product, I can also say, hey, do you have this in blue, and just enter it in text. So this is something that we start to see more and more of, multimodal search, especially in fashion. And this is an area that we're going to work together with Ascend on to really bring to our customers. And they also support Shop the Look. Shop the Look is images that are on the website today, that you might see an image of a model wearing an outfit, and how can I select those products and that the model is selecting, or the model's wearing, or similar items to those products. So I can select individual products utilizing bounding boxes, or they have here just kind of icons that sit on top of the image. You select that, and you can choose what other similar items you might want to purchase. With visual search, you can do the same. You can upload an image of something that you found on the internet, or you can upload an image of something you're wearing and say, do you have something similar to this? And then the image will be presented to you. You can select the parts of the image that you're interested in. I'm interested in this top that I found, or I'm interested in this bag that I found. So for visual search, it's all real time. You can upload images and interact with the system that way. And so shoppers can say, hey, do you have shoes like this, or do you have tops like this? And it'll come back with results. And then this is another one talking about Shop the Look and showing different ways that we can present visual AI powered recommendations. So as we're looking at an outfit, here are some similar items that are jackets. Here are some similar items for pants and whatnot. And again, utilizing this similarity. So there's models that Ascend has that you will see in our configurable strategies. We'll be pulling in those models, and you'll be able to create those models and play those in placements just like you do any of the models that we have today.
Thank you, everyone, for attending this webinar. It was great having you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
All right, thanks, guys.